All right, for more on the fight over DHS funding, Democratic Senator John Fetterman joins me now. Senator, so glad to have you here this morning. Thank you so much.
Oh, my gosh. Thanks for having me on.
Good morning. So Hakeem Jeffries, as Chad just told us, says that Democrats are not going to supply bipartisan votes to get this thing done on suspension. It's going to force Mike Johnson basically to wrangle almost every member of his conference to force this through. That could be virtually impossible. It could draw out this shutdown considerably. Now, you've held a principled position that you'll never vote to shut down the government. Why do some of your Democratic colleagues think that this is good politics? Were they not hurt in the polling from the last shutdown?
Well, the thing, it's absolutely true that it's not going to really deprive any kind of funding from DHS or ultimately ICE because, they have those effectively unlimited funds through the big, beautiful bill. They have funding now. I think it's at least 2 or 3 years part of that now. So we're going to have to figure out a way forward, how many kinds of demands to reform ICE that the Republicans are willing to take up. We're going to find out where we ultimately are. That's where we are. But thankfully, people really got smart and realized in the Senate, we cannot shut down like our military. I refuse. We can't be one of the people that would vote to deprive the military not getting paid for the twice time in 2 months. I led that charge last year. We can't shut our government down, and we did. So now we can't do that again. But now finally, we're at the point how to make the appropriate kinds of changes on ICE. But it's not going to really change the funding for the reason of the big, beautiful bill.
Right. Yeah. The other agencies are the ones that are going to shut down. ICE is going to keep doing whatever it wants to do because it's funded right now. Senate Democrats, as you mentioned, go ahead.
Yeah, for Dems, that's driven by ICE. But I will be the one being honest, saying that I tell people it's not, the funding for ICE that they're targeting.
Right.
It's not going to be. They're already the big, beautiful bills there. It's not really going to defund anything right now at this point.
Yeah. It's, I guess, just a matter of getting people to understand that who might be cheering for a shutdown. It's not going to stop ICE. But Senate Democrats have produced this short list of ICE reforms that you mentioned. It includes ending ICE patrols, prohibiting federal agents from wearing masks. Some House Democrats want to go much farther. They're calling to stop ICE operations across the country. And even for this broader negotiation, now some Republicans are coming forward with their own demands. You got Lindsey Graham saying if he's going to support ICE reforms, he wants folks to support legislation that would punish sanctuary cities for not complying with federal law. This week, Tom Homan made the case that if you've got more agents in jails, it means less agents on the street, fewer collateral arrests. Do you think you could support legislation that would punish sanctuary cities?
Well, what I really want to get on now, where it's like when I was the Democrat that led this charge about what a disaster the border was in the Biden administration. And then I arrived at, starting with the Trump administration, I met with, and actually one of the only Dem that actually met with her, that now it's like we could agree in my office. It's like, secure our border and deport every criminal migrant in our country. And we agree with that. So that's, to me, the only thing we should be focusing on now as ICE for me. And I'm always going to support those kind of efforts to do those things. And then some of the tragedies that happened in Minneapolis. And I don't know why that's helping or advancing any kinds of agenda. And I warned Trump in my call to remove NOM is like, you can't have like a Mayorkas kind of situation, like just call it what it is. And now for me, take the win that you secured our border. And I've acknowledged that as a Democrat. So for me, people are dying. And, I don't think America really wants people going after otherwise, hardworking migrants in these communities right now. Yeah. That's where I'm at. And now I was proud to join my friend Katie Britt from Alabama, and I was the Democratic co-sponsor for the Lakin Riley bill. That was entirely appropriate too. Mm-hmm. I come from this as an absolute secure border Democrat here, and that's where we're at. Like, focus on the secure our border, deport all the criminals, and that we can figure out now. And I also say now, some of the agents wearing masks, I think primarily that's driven by people are going to dox those people. That's a serious concern too. absolutely, they could target their families, and they are organizing these people to put their names out there. So don't ever dox people and target their families too. So that's part of the churn as well now too.
Okay. With the time we have left, I have a couple other topics I want to get to. This week, you criticized the Philly DA, Larry Krasner, for comparing ICE agents to Nazis, and he came after you on CNN for it. Listen to this.
John Fetterman is the favorite senator of Donald Trump, the favorite Democratic senator of Donald Trump. He said that repeatedly, and that's because John Fetterman has completely sold out the principles on which he ran for office. I voted for John Fetterman, but what he's been doing for quite some time, for whatever reason, and we all know there may be a few reasons, is completely unacceptable for anyone who actually believes in democracy and who actually believes in the rule of law.
Do you want to respond to that?
He really ought to lighten up, Francis. You know, and it's like don't call people and compare people to Nazis. I mean, like I said, you really ought to lighten up, Francis. And that's really honestly the truth now. And like a lot of the tough talk coming out of his office, that's just pandering to people. Now, for me, we all agree, deport all the criminal migrants. I do support that. And I think we should have a support, our border right now, secure that. So for me now, DA Krasner, don't agree on some things and these things, but I'm not going to criticize or attack him in some kinds of ways. But regardless, that's a hard rule for anyone. Don't compare anyone to Nazis.
Yeah.
I mean,
that should be kind of fundamental at this point, you would think. Very quickly on Iran, I want to get your thoughts on a strike. The president says that Iran is negotiating. Do you think that it's possible for the U.S. to reach an agreement with Iran that, is so strong that a strike shouldn't happen, or do you think there's U.S. credibility on the line? And also, where do you stand on this new war powers resolution that Senators Kaine and Paul are now putting forward to try to constrain the president from any military action on Iran?
Yeah, I'll if they do bring that up, I'll vote it down again, like I did for the first time. I was the one Democrat to support striking the Iranian nuclear facilities, and it was a success, absolutely. And I think it's incredibly, smart now to accumulate all of our assets there around Iran. That is the only thing these nations respect in that region is strength and peace through strength. And now, if they really want to test the president's will, I support. Look at what you're showing on your show. They massacred thousands of young Iranians just fighting for democracy and fundamental rights.
And
so I support.
And very quickly, because we're out of time, one more question about your voting. The new Fed nominee, if he clears committee, could come to a full vote in the Senate. You voted for 11 of the president's other nominees. Do you think that you could get behind Kevin Warsh?
I'm not really sure because, I've always been very supportive of Jerome Powell. Honestly, I think overall he's done a good job, honestly. But things I am concerned about, I think the Fed independence is really one of the crown jewels of our democracy.
Okay. And we've heard that sentiment from a number of senators as well. Senator John Fetterman, thank you so much for joining the Sunday briefing this morning, sir. Always a pleasure talking to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, it's Will Cain. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Cain podcast for full episodes right now.